Chumripsua.
Jumripsua.
Chumripsu.
Yung cikro kemar rebo niya.
Chekromlek Shimoyanak.
Kamwati abrom lamnaini prete rapayong.
The Cambodian Education Law, Chapter 5, Provision 23, puts emphasis on morality and civic ideals as essential components of the country's educational program. However, the moral civic education, which is the counterpart of values education here in Cambodia, is currently an elective subject and only a strand of another discipline, that is social studies, assisting the students in acquiring and upholding the values that direct them to make the right decisions and decide their conduct and attitude towards themselves, others, and the environment. Civics and moral education focuses on building the moral well-being of our students. The ultimate value is human dignity. Moral and civic education is centered on the holistic notion that every individual is molded continuously by his or her personal experience as a part of a broader community. Total development occurs when a person's potential is fully realized. Ministry of Education, Youth and Sports desire to develop learners who should have national and civic pride, high standards of morals and ethics, and a strong belief in being responsible for their own future.
Civics and moral education in Cambodia highlights respect for human rights. CME also promotes ethical responsibility and critical thinking of the learners. Lastly, CME highly emphasizes the inculcation of patriotism, social responsibility, and civic awareness. In teaching civics and morals, the Policy for Curriculum Development and Education Strategic Plan has adopted a student-centered approach, where the teacher is supposed to be only a facilitator. The student should be the center of the educational endeavor. However, some cases tend to put more weight in textbooks that it end up becoming rote learning or memorization and reading of concepts alone. On the other hand, Cambodian teachers noted an easy-to-complex arrangement of topics in the learning materials. Self-learning, group and peer learning, whole class learning are the desired strategies in teaching civics and morals.
With the natural rights violations posed in the previous periods, the government placed an emphasis on human rights education. It has been a commitment since then to uphold human rights and foster a sense of national identity, democracy, and non-violence among generations. A detailed review of the curriculum reveals that the subject of moral civic education is the most effective place to teach human rights concepts. This was made feasible under the Policy for Curriculum Development of 2005-2009. In relation to what the ministry aspires to accomplish, they provided a list of anticipated outcomes for different levels. For the basic education curriculum from grades 1 to 9, students should have impart knowledge about national identity and understanding of morality and civic responsibilities. And for the upper secondary curriculum, students should have deep knowledge of the national identity and a more complex understanding of morality and civic responsibilities. This requires the learner to acquire enough and necessary knowledge through mastery of the increasingly difficult topic covered in morals in civics classes for students in grade 7 to grade 12, stemming from the self, family, community, and nation. In each lesson has typically been conducted using the 4A technique, which is activity, analyze, abstraction, and application. And that concludes our presentation of Cambodia's civic and moral education. Lehay Sau Marku.